Okay, super cool, and thank you so much. I am here with Shannon, and first I must say, well, thank you, Shannon. Without Shannon, this race wouldn't be here. I know, yes, Mike Takahashi is the godfather of it all, no question. But it is Shannon, the driving force from the sub days that we remember so dearly. And now we are excited about the foiling, and that we are like in the third post-COVID year now.
Yeah, we're excited. You guys are excited.
Yes.
The foil adds a completely different dimension to the event. Last year we were able to shift under the community's concerns, right, to sort of kind of even out some of the fields. We shifted it to a 2-day event. So this year, for the first time ever, I think we're doing live coverage for a foil. I know it's the first time for us. I think it's probably the first time worldwide.
It's huge. It's huge. And I can't wait to see that. Too bad we never had it during the sub days, but now this is definitely next level. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. How did that come about? What instigated that all together?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of removed myself from a lot of the dialogue, but there was some dialogue happening about trying to figure out, we've always wanted to do live coverage, right? It's not an easy channel to cover. I think after the success of last year's foil race and how much momentum was behind it and the allure of doing the channel, a handful of foilers actually sort of kind of pushed the limit a little bit to have some engagement with trying to go live. So it was actually really kind of an honor to have that engagement. It's a commitment for the event. It's a commitment for the live coverage. It's a lot of resources. It's a lot of cost.
Yeah.
But we think that the time is now. So we're just trying to stay present with really just elevating this first year. But the live coverage, 11 a.m. to 1:30 on KHON, as well as YouTube, Rogue TV.
Yeah. We'll be sharing this everywhere we can.
The team has been rigging boats for the last, couple days. There's a helicopter. We have the U.S. Coast Guard came in this year and really actually came in with such a huge commitment and activation that, it's been an absolute honor to watch them really kind of engage with a number of athletes that are racing, telling their stories, using this as an unbelievable recruitment tool of just how crazy the event is, how beautiful it is. They're going to do a flyover tomorrow morning. They're going to be flying over the event the entire time, unless an emergency happens, off our course, not on our course, but getting pulled into another direction for whatever might come their way. So we're super excited to, see what happens. It's a phenomenal progression. So looking forward to what's next, and having a bigger presence of the foil community and the foil industry next year would be huge. That's why we've made these commitments. So look forward to having bigger dialogues across the board.
Yeah, for sure. And I think to me this is totally a little bit of a watershed moment. We had in all of these years, we never had a live coverage, and now we have one. I think it should propel the viewership quite a bit in the state of Hawaii for sure, because of the KHON that is covering this. And after that we have it on Rogue TV, which is a shareable content and a reviewable content through their channel and on YouTube, so we can distribute the heck out of it and really reach more people. And ultimately what we all need is also a little bit of sponsorship there too.
That's always great. We've had some unbelievable partnerships over the years that have lasted over 20. We've had an unbelievable partnership with the tourism board, but to be able to kind of bring in industry and additional partners that know how to activate this event. And I think it's been pretty exciting to watch the activation piece for the Coast Guard, because they are just out there building out content and stories. And those are the partners that are going to move this needle. So super excited to see what's next. And we're all excited. But it's like putting on 3 events. It's been crazy.
Yeah, it is a crazy thing. You guys don't know what's going into this. I've covered this for years, and I see how hectic it is and how much work and love, particularly love and passion that goes into this, for sure. We have a few new things. Again, this year, we have the start line up at the point. We have the finish line by Kaimana Beach, down by past Hawaii Kai. So that's the second year, which was a success last year, I assume.
Yeah, and one thing that we started last year was the Koakai Crown. And that was a big piece for us to kind of engage, especially after the Maui fires, to engage a handful of other events. It was really, we all looked at each other and said a rising tide lifts all boats, right? So we really wanted to make sure that if we were having athletes coming from over internationally, that we could give them 2 to 3 weeks of racing. And we've succeeded with that. The Koakai this year, engages 4 different events, but ultimately the final crown is the combination of that Maui to Molokai, which happened yesterday, which was phenomenal conditions, and then also combined with our time tomorrow. So that's a big piece for us to start really kind of intertwining more with the community as well, and giving them some ownership.
Then, speaking of Koakai, you actually brought me to one thing. Any kind of thoughts on sponsorships and prize money on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had prize purse at the event since before COVID. So on our return back to the channel in 2023, that was one thing that was sacrificed just to get back on our feet. So, it takes a little, we'd like to get to that break-even point before we can really kind of push that limit. But I think that's where the industry can really jump in. We can kind of have a non-exclusive sort of, ability to sort of leverage some prize purse. And that's across the board. I mean, I think the first thing is getting it on live TV. So there we are.
Yeah, and good things will follow. One last thing, also tomorrow, brand new, we are starting the subfoilers in 2 waves. Let's talk about this for a moment. The thought behind it. I know boats are a big part of it. Can you elaborate a little bit on all of that?
Yeah, we're trying to be really engaging with the athletes and the safety team on what the needs are, especially after that download last year of having 110 subfoilers start all at one time. It was pretty crazy wakes. We had the wing foils start in the first. The wing and the sup are very different. One's tacking, one's going straight. So what we've decided to test this year is we have a seated heat. So that first heat are seated athletes and a handful of unescorted subfoilers. And then that second heat is non-seated athletes. And a lot of it was based on times from last year, also performances from the Voyager race as well as Patalimua over the last couple weeks. And then we had one last chance to review the Maui to Molokai results this morning. So it really is a seeded wave. And then that second wave includes a lot of new timers, a lot of younger paddlers new to the channel, as well as some international athletes that are in some of the older age groups.
Okay, well, that's very cool. So all eyes on the first wave and all eyes on a possible dark horse in the second wave.
And all the wing foils in the last wave.
Of course, all the wing foils, which are traditionally quite a notch faster than everybody else. So we are going to have exciting times, and once again, thank you. And let's close this interview out with a great memory from a pre-COVID SUP world. What's your greatest memory from between now and 2010 when it really started to grow? Yeah,
it's hard to say. I mean, there was always this channel's so crazy. I remember there being one year where we're on Connor and Kai the entire time, and we're like 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then we get to Portlock and it's Travis and I think it was Travis and Scott Gamble, right? I'm trying to think of who. I mean, anything can happen in this channel. The technology with the dot vision will be huge. The foil race, especially because all of the actual athletes will wear the dot vision on them. They will be in the same jersey color as their dot on dot vision. So it's kind of a different opportunity. But back in the SUP days when we didn't really have dot vision, or only half of the dot vision trackers worked, we were really relying on being in the right place at the right time. So those were some pretty crazy moments for sure.
Well, very cool. Thank you so much, Shannon, for all you do. I think our community has all the way to be thankful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you in the next video.